Hey y'all, Sean with the news here. So we're going to take a look at some of the videos that's been circulating all around social media. Let me tell you, the streets is stalking, and of course Shannon Sharpe is in the center of it all. So I wanted to play some videos. I want to show y'all some videos of what the streets is saying. These social media streets is crazy. Now there's one video with Candace Owens that I got to show you. I know a lot of you haven't seen it, but something happened. Something pretty interesting happened. So I wanted to show you guys so you can really see what's going on here and, you know, what Candace Owens had to say. So let's take a look at some of the videos because, like I said, the streets is stalking. First, we're going to play the Monique video because, you know, Monique did warn Shannon Sharpe as what is to come, you know, messing with some of these young women in their 20s. You know, she was 19 years old, and now she's probably about, what, 21 now or something, somewhere around there. So let's play this video with Monique actually warning Shannon Sharpe. All right, let's go.
You don't need no 26-year-old girl. You don't need no 36-year-old girl.
I do.
This is your auntie talking to you. Take your old ass and get you an old bitch out there that can love you old. You trying to hang out with these young bitches and you can't do it, Shannon. You just can't do it.
And he was laughing. He was laughing. But guess what? This happened. This happened. Let's take a look.
To my family, friends, supporters, and colleagues, I want to speak to you directly and from the heart. This is a shakedown. I'm going to be open, transparent, and defend myself because this isn't right. This is all being orchestrated by Tony Busby, who has targeted Jay-Z. Tony Busby targets black men, and I believe he's going to release a 30-second clip of a sex tape that tries to make me look guilty and play into every stereotype you could possibly imagine. That video should actually be 10 minutes or so. Hey, Tony, instead of releasing your edit, put the whole video out. I don't have it, or I would myself. You know what happened, and you're trying to manipulate the media. The encounter in question took place during the day at her invitation, and now that appears to be a deliberate setup, coordinated by Gabby, also known as Carly on OnlyFans. Gabby and Tony Busby want $50 million. What they're getting is sued for defamation and trying to take me down. My career is all about real talk and honesty. I know my family and fans know exactly what this is about. And I'm going to be out there telling you whatever I need to say, just like I always do. I love all you guys. Thanks.
I got more videos to show y'all. I got the streets. The streets is stalking. TikTok is stalking. Social media is stalking. And we're going to get right into some of those videos. But I want you to know this, man. It's like one thing about Shannon Sharpe is he was really coming up really strong. He came up really strong in media. And one of the things that I had noticed about Shannon, man, is like he was bragging about, you know, some of the women and this and that and that. And there was a time where people were saying he was bisexual or gay or whatnot. And what he did was he had put out, if y'all remember, if you've been keeping up with this, he had put out this audio of him having sex with a girl named Michelle, supposedly Michelle, right? And just to prove that he's not gay or bisexual. But guess what? He had a gay stylist who was his best friend. And he even said, you know, they hang out together, all that stuff. And of course, you know, the community was coming out at him saying, yo, you gay, man. If you gay, just say you gay, you know. And, you know, he was dressing, you know, a certain type of way, you know, carrying little dogs and purses and so forth. And, you know, people kind of question that. Now, we're not saying, we can't. Now, here's what happened, right? When you call something out, people always say, now, why does that matter to you? This, that. Yo, look, if you come out publicly and you're doing something publicly, you know, publicly, people have all rights, you know, to ask certain questions. People have all rights. And, you know, some people were like, why y'all worried about this, man? This, that. Well, guess what? If you don't want anybody to say anything about it, keep it private. Keep it to yourself, because once you come out public on social media, people are going to say something. Yeah, you know, he was in question, and then he released that sex audio. It's supposed to be a sex audio, and he released it to show people, yo, I'm not gay, this, that. And then certain things happened after that. But we're going to get into, Candace Owen in a few minutes. But let's hear what the street has to say. You know what? Let's play this audio, because this was another audio that was released from the first audio. So let's take a listen to this audio of Shannon Sharpe and this girl, Gabby.
Well, what, Gabby?
Well, you're coming to LA tomorrow?
Yes.
Well, I don't know why you want to go out.
Don't worry about it, Gabby.
Well, okay.
Okay, what?
Well, I'm not really interested in getting choked, so I guess we're going.
Yeah. I might choke you in public. Big black guy chokes small white woman.
It's not a good look, Shannon.
Not a good look that you did what you did to me.
Okay, well,
Well, what?
That's the end of the audio, but I don't know. For some reason, it seems like somebody was in the background, telling her what to say or writing something on a notepad or whatnot. It sounded like he was being baited into, certain things, and he fell for it. He fell for the okie doke, and it's just, he's just getting what, they say you reap what you sow, right? Unfortunately, it's just something that's happening to him. This has happened to a lot of people, but in the midst of everything, he lost his deal. I think he had. Well, you know what? Let me just leave that right there. I'm not going to really comment on that anymore. I don't know what's going on with that. But at the same time, he had to step down from ESPN. They were going to fire him. Disney is not having that type of stuff. Somebody's going to talk about it a little bit more, but let's hear what the streets is saying, and then we're going to hear what Candace Owens has to say, as a matter of fact. So the street is talking. Let's hear what the streets have to say about this real quick.
Shannon Sharpe is a creepy, nasty old man. There ain't no reason a man his age should ever in his life be dealing with no girl that young. Monique tried to tell him years ago that he needed to be dealing with women his age, and he didn't listen. So guess what? When you play around with kids, you end up in childish situations, and that's where he in right now. And honestly, I ain't even gonna hold you. He's had several domestic issues against him in the past.
I didn't know about that. Y'all know about that?
So him trying to take this to court would not really look good, because even though this girl is probably lying and trying to set him up, it's the fact that when you pull his old records and old cases from previous women he's dealt with, this ain't the first time that he's been accused of putting his hands on women.
Wow.
All right, so it really doesn't look good, even if this situation is not a real situation. He got other stuff in the past that was. So it don't look good, right? When it comes to the whole little race play thing, I wasn't surprised at all. Whenever I see dark-skinned men who look like Shannon Sharpe, where they have like very strong Afro features, most of them got so much self-hate in them. When they get with non-black women, they let those women run over them and do whatever they want. And those women know the position that they in. They know the power that they hold in the relationship dynamic. They know that those men are obsessed with their whiteness, obsessed with them not being black, and pedestalize them so much that they can really do what they want to do and get away with it. And they take full advantage of it. And that's the reason why this ain't the first time Shannon Sharpe have been in a situation like this with a non-black woman. Right? Like he's been in a lot of situations where at his age, he should know better than to have put himself in the position that he's in right now. And that's the reason why I really can't feel bad for him, because you too old. You too old, and you done been through too much already to be making rookie mistakes like this.
Woo! Rookie mistakes like this. As an athlete at that age, or a former athlete at that age, you shouldn't be making that type of mistake. That's facts. He's too old to be making rookie mistakes like this. Let's hear what somebody else has to say. All right, let's hear what this guy.
If the age of consent was like 15, I can only imagine what this headline would have actually.
You know what? I was actually thinking about that as well, because I was thinking about R. Kelly. Do you know? I feel like Shannon Sharpe is now on. I hate to say it, but you know what? Shannon Sharpe is the new R. Kelly. When you really think about it. Now, I'm not saying he's going around, searching for but based on what we've been hearing, he's been really messing around with a lot of young girls. And now he found himself, in a situation with a girl who's 19 years old or 21 years old or 20 years old, however much how old she is right now. But 19 years old at the time, which was last year or whatnot. But this is a bad situation, man. This is some R. Kelly vibes I'm getting right now.
With Shannon Sharpe. Shannon Sharpe is the living proof of why, as men, we need to put more emphasis on getting married.
Woo! Getting married. Let's go.
And I know he's spoken out plenty of times about failed relationships, his problems with his children because of his chase for success in the NFL. But if Shannon Sharpe was actually married, this would not have happened. Yes, I know married men get in trouble, but the likelihood of this happening drastically decreases. And then on another hand, 19? You're 50, 56 or 57. Either way, 19. If the legal age was 15, what would this headline have actually read? To any man that's out there questioning marriage, yes, question. I understand. Shannon Sharpe has probably been through some scenarios with women that would steer him away from marriage. But from my experience, this is why you have to build with a woman. I can't speak on anything that has happened in his past relationships. I don't know. But for me, the woman that I decided to marry is the woman that has stuck with me through thick and thin. The woman that has stuck with me when I was broke, when I was depressed, now that I'm making money, now that I'm she has been there for me through everything. This Shannon Sharpe thing has so much for men to really unpack and unravel. It's crazy. But do better, my guys.
Do better, my guys. Do better. You know what? There's another person that I saw her video, and I was like, you know what? I think this is a good video to put out there because, the thing is, man, it's you got to understand that there's so much to unpack from this. There's so much to unpack as a black man and a black woman, because black woman, it's I've heard Shannon Sharpe talking about, I don't mess with black girls, this and that. I'm like, yo, bro, what are you talking about? What are you talking about? Not all black. Now, we're not saying he was saying all black women, is a certain type of way. But I feel like, that's anywhere. That's in any community. However, the black women do have a different dynamic to them, right? We're going to call it what it is, right? We're going to call a spade a spade. But at the end of the day, it's you go over to the other side, and this is what you get. Let's listen to what this young lady has to say. She has a 3-minute video, but we're going to chime in a little bit.
Family, ESPN has allowed Shannon to step down, i.e. fired him. We knew this was going to happen because first of all, the Disney Corporation is over ESPN and all that. Disney not gonna have this type of mess going on, especially with no Negro. Let's just keep it 100, right?
Facts.
The first indiscretion that happened, Disney, ESPN, first take, everybody was like, okay, cool. We're gonna turn a blind eye. Maybe you did accidentally record yourself. But this is too hard of a hit.
That's when he had actually recorded himself having, sexual intercourse with somebody, and he said, it was a mistake. It was posted on Instagram Live, and people were listening in yo, what the hell is that? And he was saying, no, it was a mistake, and he didn't mean to, but he did. He did mean to put it out there, because people was calling him gay. And, of course, that was brought to his boss at ESPN, which is Disney and everybody up there. But, she's speaking about that, as a matter of fact, if you don't know what she's speaking about.
This is too hard of a hit for any corporation. He's not worth the talent is not worth the risk. And so this is what has happened. So again, black folk, black men, particularly right now, listen, I know some of you men get offended because I'm not addressing the women. But like I told you before, if her name was Shania instead of Shannon, I would be talking to the women about this. But brothers, because I care, you got to watch how you move in these streets, babies. You cannot do this. And for you young brothers, young enough to be my child, I'm 54. Y'all brothers in your 20s, and even some of y'all in your 30s. Just because a woman might be an OnlyFans model, or she might be walking around with her panties halfway off her ass and titties all out, let me tell you something. No is no at the end of the day. I don't care if you are in the heat of the moment. If that bitch changes her mind and says, stop, no, get off me, you better acquiesce. Grab your clothes and run out that house. Get up out of there. Matter of fact, before you get out of there, you pick up your phone and you call your mama or daddy, or you hit record and you make sure you hear her saying no, and let you hear yourself saying, okay, baby, I hear you saying no, I'm out of here.
All facts. That's what you got to do. And don't call her back. Fellas, if she says no in the heat of the moment, yo, leave that chick, never call her back. Move on. Because that's a dangerous one right there. That's the one you don't want to get messed up with. You block her number, do whatever you want. You got to do, man. Leave that chick. Don't go back. Because let me tell you, you got to be careful out here as a man. And that, look, it's dangerous out in these streets, man. So let's keep watching.
That's what you got to do, y'all. That's to the point where it has to be to protect yourself. Again, I'm not saying this chick is lying, but it's looking mighty fishy. Mm-hmm. But all it takes is that one time for her to have said no, and he took it as a yes. So now, the fall of Shannon Sharpe.
There it is. We're going to stop it right there, but feel free to hit that subscribe button right now if you're watching this. Yo, look out for me, y'all. I'm dropping content. We got Candace Owens coming up. You got to hear what Candace Owens has to say about this, because let me tell you, she has a lot to say, y'all. So, she's not going to say a whole, well, she got a lot to say. I'm just going to keep it a buck. But hit that subscribe button if you've listened, chiming in for the first time. I'm bringing some stuff off social media for you. And this is what I want to do. I really want to bring, the streets to my channel, because a lot of people have been saying the same things, on their podcasts, playing the same videos. But what I want to do different is I want to bring the community together so you could watch and hear what the community is saying, pertaining to a certain topic that's trending. So you're not only hearing me, but other people as well. Shout out to all the creators that's been putting out content. Shout out to everybody. I don't know each of their handles. I should have got their handles so I could put it down in the description so I could give them credit. But next time I will. But we're going to listen to Candace Owens right now. Hit that like button right now. Show me back some love. I'm out here dropping these content for you. So let's chime in to what Candace Owens has to say.
Granddad is nasty.
Legal and fine.
I'm always very upfront with you guys about my biases. And I'm going to be honest with you, I do not like Shannon Sharpe. I do not think he's a good person. It's personal for me, okay? Last year being the toughest year on my family in our entire life. And as soon as I got fired from the Daily Wire, there were certain people who I had done nothing to, who I had never spoken about, who were just like dancing on what they perceived was my grave.
Candace has given you all her blood to kiss for 2 decades. In the moment, what they doing? They can't fire me. They can't fire me.
This man is toasting and laughing about Candace Owens getting fired from the Daily Wire. I remember when they fired her. And this man was out here celebrating her downfall. Never celebrate someone else's downfall, y'all. That's the lesson of the day. Do not, no matter how much you dislike that person, do not celebrate someone else's downfall. Let's continue watching.
The hell you say? Now look at her.
Now look at you, Mr. Shannon Sharpe. Ooh, that Candace karma comes quick. He's now in a very serious predicament because a young woman has come forward. And she's alleging that she was raped and she was threatened by Shannon Sharpe during what she is describing as a quote-unquote rocky consensual relationship. That term, a rocky consensual relationship. And I'll tell you what her story is, okay? Her story is that she was at the gym in Los Angeles back in 2023, pumping some iron. And lo and behold, here comes Shannon Sharpe. They met. Now, to be clear, she says she was just 20 years old, which I hate. I hate that a 56-year-old man is hitting on a 20-year-old at the gym. Again, not illegal, but yes, probably very immoral. I think we can all agree. Like going after young women who are younger than your daughters, it's pretty gross. He would have been 54 at the time. And from there on, the two of them start a relationship. A 2-year sexual relationship followed. Now, she's alleging that the rape element didn't occur until October of last year. And then again, so she got raped in October of 2024, and then again, allegedly this year in January. So obviously, for those of you that are following our Harvey series, that's immediately for me where I pause, because what jumps out is the persistent question that I have in these circumstances, which is what would incentivize any young woman to go back and continue relations with an alleged rapist?
All right. So she says she got raped twice, and then she went back and got raped a third time. You know, there's just so much to this entire story. She was actually 19 when he started having sex with her, as a matter of fact. Candace, Shannon Sharpe. Now, you know, there's a video that I saw, and let me get this thing together. There's a video that I saw, and Shannon Sharpe, you know, was talking about this other girl called Bree something, and he was out here talking about asking Chad Ochocinco. Of course, they both have a podcast together called Nightcap, and he was mentioning what y'all know about Chad Ocho. What y'all know about Bree, whatever her last name is. I'm thinking it's an Instagram name, because you know, men like these. And what they do is they go on, even married men as well, you know, especially these athletes. They go on Instagram and they chase after these Instagram models and, you know, these Instagram women with these, you know, OnlyFans account, the new day strippers and hoes, the new day prostitutes. That's what I should say, because if you're on OnlyFans, and you're looking to get paid for your service, you're prostituting yourself. We're just going to call a spade a spade. We're going to call it as it is, and nobody want to say it, but I'm going to say it. These girls are modern day prostitutes. That's what they are, right? Because they're getting paid for that service. And I don't care what people want to say. I'm just going to call it what it is. It's modern day prostitution. I don't even know why OnlyFans is up and running right now. That thing should be taken down. It should be taken down. Of course, yeah, there's another platform that just may pop up, but guess what? Take them all down. These girls are out here prostituting themselves, man, and if you say anything about it, oh, you know, let her get her money her way. And you know what? People have a way of watering things down, and you know, because they don't want to offend anybody. They don't want to offend anybody. Oh, you know, go ahead and get your money. I don't care. Nah. We're going to call it like it is. You a hoe. You a prostitute. Right? Stop it. Stop doing this. No integrity. You know, no self-love. I don't want none of those girls to talk about self-care and self-love and, you know, love yourself, because you don't. Right? Shout out to the women who do. But those type of women, they don't love themselves. They don't love themselves. You know, at the end of the day, I'm not celebrating this man's downfall. I don't think anybody should. But we can also be honest to ourselves and speak it like the way we should speak it, in all honesty. Shannon Sharpe deserves what Shannon Sharpe is getting. He deserves it. When you speak down on black women, because I've heard him talk about black women, this and this, that, and look, I'm not going to give you a pass, bro. Right? There's some good black women out here, and we're not going to throw all black women, you know, in a pot and be like, well, you know, this is who they are. No. You want to date? A lot of these women will never have dated you if you didn't have any money. And I'm talking about a lot of these Caucasian or, you know, mayonnaise or, you know, snow bunnies, as Dr. Umar Johnson would say, right? They would have never dated you, bro. And a black woman, they're going to hold you down. So, you know, he's spoken ill about black women. And for that, bro, I can't give you a pass. You deserve what you're getting, bro. You deserve what you got, what you're getting right now. And plus, you try to pay $10 million. You try to pay a $10 million settlement. Say what? Wherever there's smoke, there's fire. Hey, hit that subscribe button, hit that like button, show me back some love. Drop a comment in the comment section. If you didn't like anything I say, just drop it. Let me know how you feel. It's totally fine. You know, we're not censoring anybody around here. Just drop your comments down in the comment section. Hit that like button. Show me back some love. You know, until next time, see you in the next video. Peace.